give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Welcome back to Wind Tunnel TV. Tonight, it's the Kylou Glass Gen 4 Series here live at Auto Club Speedway. I'm Dean Doucette. He's Jared Carr. Jared, Auto Club. Finally, we get back to something a little more traditional. I say finally, I've been racing on strange tracks a lot. Maybe not always broadcasting them, but I'm happy to see a mile and a half here, Jared.
Yeah, we're back at it, Dean, and this is gonna, we had Daytona or Talladega last week. Apologies, and I think a lot of people were kind of taken aback by how that race transpired. But now we're heading here to California Speedway, as it was known, Auto Club Speedway, as it's known, was known as well. Now it's doesn't even really exist in its form that we have on iRacing. But Dean, this should be a fun race. It's a multi-groove racetrack. Will these Gen 4 cars live up to that here tonight?
Yeah, Jerry. I mean, I believe they will, right? That's exactly what I think. I think they'll live up to it. It's a multi-groove track. Now, the question is, who gets away? Do we have any cautions? Do we get a little bit more pack? Because pack is dangerous. First 5, 10, 15 laps in these cars are going to get a little crazy out there. It's going to be interesting, and I got to mute the in-game mics.
Yeah, and you look at this track. I mean, it is such a wide track, a lot of different things going on, a lot of different banking, and you saw some really good races toward the end of the Gen 4 era here, and they continued on in the COT era, in the Gen 6 era. This track really produces some good racing. But Dean, you talk about, this season, we're 9 races through it, and Lance Ripka last week looked like he was going to have a really good race, but that race went caution free, and we didn't really have any separation. And boy, the point standings, 9 points between him and Michael Walker II.
Yeah, we're taking a look at the points right now, Jared, and it is quite a battle out here. There's no doubt about it. 9 points between Ripka and Walker, Jason Ratliff right there, Wes Pistol, Chris Owens in your top 5, Torgerson, Powers, Greg Ratliff, all right in the thick of it. Tony Ratliff and Jason Brantley still alive right there as well. And then Weiss in 11th, Ashley, Inman, Gilly, and others. Of course, Gilly's not there tonight, but he's watching, Jared. So we'll try and put on a show for the Toad Man tonight.
Absolutely. And before we get into the starting lineups, I mean, we do have a lot of people already chiming in the chat. Love to see it. We got Doyle out here, as always, watching on Wind Tunnel TV. We got Paul Travis is watching, and also Todd Gilly out there watching, along with Michael W. Maybe that's Michael Walker. Maybe he was just chiming in at the beginning. I don't know. But, Dean, we got a lot of people out there watching, and I'm excited to get this race going.
All right, let's get into tonight's starting grid. It's Claus Williams out front with a time of 40.620. He's from that grassroots racing. Chris Owens will start on the outside of row number 1, and I hope this is no indication. He's with Junk Racing. Jared, not too sure about that name. Troy Torgerson will start on the inside of row number 2 with Wes Pistol on his outside. You got Ross Weiss and Inman in row 3. It's Shane Fleming and Powers in row 4. Royce Valley will start 9th with Nick Barris in 10th, and Tom Ashley and Greg Ratliff round out your top 6 rows.
Yeah, and you look back in row 7, that's the last group of drivers that took times. That's Jason Brantley and Bob LaPrime. Only 0.2 of a second separating Brantley and Claus Williams from the pole, so very tight field tonight. Then we got TJ Rogers and Michael Walker II in row 8, Jason Ratliff and Herb Ashley. Then we have Eric Whiting and Tony Ratliff in row 10, and then George Dibble shotgun on the field tonight of our 21 car field.
Yeah, well, George doesn't want anybody grabbing his Dibble dogs, right? So he starts at the back here tonight. and he'll secure those double dogs and try and race them up here to the booth.
Absolutely. I mean, I just ate, but I could eat a double dog, right?
I don't know. It sounds skeptical to me. I'm
That's
not
true, too.
sure, but once you try one and say it's all right, maybe I'll get in there. There's a look at Claus Williams, nice looking car. We're gonna look at a couple of these paints. Got Kylou Glass on the bumper. Go over to Facebook, check out Kylou Glass for all your blown glass needs. Of course, there's that popular Navy car, Doyle Alexander paint job. Ross Weiss, that's a personal favorite of mine. I bring it up all the time. Jared, the old Tide machine.
Yep, very popular. Yeah, Doyle Lawrence, the painter of the Troy Torgerson car, just to clarify there. But yeah, a lot of great paints. I mean, love all these paints here in this series. I mean, a lot of creative people out there.
Certainly is. Absolutely love them all. All right, good one cooking here. Claus Williams up front. Look for him to try to get away. Owen's a bit of a mystery on how, I mean, I don't think he's going to race to the front, but he might.
Everybody's trying to tighten up here, but this is going to be a fun one, Dean.
It certainly is. Pace car darts off the track. We're ready to go racing here in the RGR Racing League. We are green flag. Williams and Owens heading down into one. Good start by Owens on the outside.
Yeah, Owens hanging tough on the outside. And you see right there is the third car in line dropping already down to the bottom. That is West Pistol in the 98 machine. Owens battling back on the high side. Going to have a run off the corner. And our pole setter might not lead lap one as Inman gets on the outside. Torgerson off two.
How about Owens ripping the wall there? What a move. Chris Owens going straight to the front. That was an awesome move by him.
Everybody single file in the top four. Ross Weiss and Troy Torgerson battling side by side. 3 wide deeper back in the middle with looks like Brantley was on the outside of that group, but they get it all settled out.
All right, Eric Whiting back here with Herb Ashley on the outside. Go look up front. Owens starting to walk away a little bit. You see Williams up in the second groove. Torgerson ripping the high side. There's Nick Barise. He's got himself a new car. Miller time. We love those drinking cars. We got Rusty on the hood.
Yeah, that was the PG paint that was in NASCAR 98, 99, all those games. Good battle. Everybody single file. Everybody's starting to get single file very early, Dean, tonight.
Yeah, and I'm not really that surprised. Big track, not a lot of cars. I mean, you would think there's room to make moves and all that, but as soon as they get to a certain spot, they're going to hop in line, and everybody going to start working those tires. And that's an interesting thing here, Jared. There's a lot you can do at a place like Auto Club to save tire.
Yeah, there is. I mean, you can... different grooves, obviously, are going to play a factor in this race tonight. If you run the bottom, you're going to obviously put more heat in the right front. But it's all going to be dependent on how that setup is initially, right? And that's going to be crucial on how you can do it. But this is one of the tracks where you can really rip the wall, use those aero effects to your advantages. We do have some battling mid-pack there tonight, Dean. I think that is Tracy Powers trying to get on the outside of Shane Fleming.
Yeah, those two going at it here down the straightaway. They'll head down in the corner. And I think Fleming, well, I don't know. He goes down to the bottom. Powers up high. Here comes Greg Ratliff. We got a great shot of how these cars are maneuvering through the corner here.
Oh,
Jared.
my goodness. And Fleming was loose. I mean, he was wrecking off the turn 4 right in front of Tracy Powers there. Or that might have been Nick Barise. No, it was Shane Fleming. I apologize.
We had a nice tall view here, and you can see the difference. And as West Pistol up here making a move, let's get back to a more regular angle here. He's going to go around West Pistol and take
wrecking
third.
in the back of the field. Huge wreck. Tony Ratliff is involved. Herb Ashley might be involved.
Wow, Herb Ashley, pieces of the Whataburger machine all over the track. Let's get a quick replay here and see what happened. Up high is the Whataburger. He gets loose, just drives down into Tony Ratliff, and Tony Ratliff destroyed. Wow.
And then Herb Ashley has taken that car to the garage, and he has ended the race. So unfortunate for him, as that's a big contact
And
there.
there's no caution for that.
Yeah.
Am I correct
no
on that?
caution.
I'm a little surprised by that, Jared. I was unaware. You might have said it, but I ignored it.
No, yeah, I was surprised too. But man, I mean, he just got. That's a death wobble loose, right? Where the car is, you don't have any control over it. You're trying to hold the car. You're yanking the wheel back to the right, and the car is just sliding. That lazy half spin. And nothing Tony Ratliff could do. Probably didn't even see him.
That's what I thought. Like, but he drove kind of straight down the track there, Jared. He was just kind of locked into that trajectory and couldn't seem to shake it.
Yeah, tough break. Excuse me.
Troy Torgerson up high there, ripping it, and we're seeing already there is speed up on that high side. The danger might be wearing out your stuff. And we were starting to talk about how you save your stuff here, and it's something that I like to do at Auto Club. Jared, a powerful machine like this, I mean, you can shut down, you can lift extremely early and just let it roll in there.
Greg, my goodness, I'm sorry, Dean. Greg Ratliff just did a four-wheel slide off of turn 4, might have gotten the wall off of turn 4. I don't know how he didn't wreck that car even harder, but my goodness, that kind of goes against what you're saying, Dean. I think the tires might be a little heated up on that number 5 machine.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know how that goes against what I was saying, but Greg, I mean, he's driving the living you-know-what out of this machine and driving that high line. That car is going to go away on him. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it's faster up there, but I'm going to be right down on the bottom. You know this about me, Jared. I'll be down there, I'll be lifting and rolling. As we see Ross Weiss down there, he's lost control of his machine. Let's get a quick replay on that. So Weiss, who's riding in 6th position here, and he's down on the bottom, and he just off the corner, there it goes, down into the grass. Did a great job of correcting away from those barrels in pit lane.
Yeah, that was very similar to what we saw from Herb Ashley, except that there was nobody on the inside, right? But my goodness, very tough handling car out here tonight, Dean. And like you said, I mean, you can, in these cars, kind of let this car relax. But the thing is this banking kind of breaks away, right? It is not a super high banked track in terms of sudden, in terms of elevation.
It's very gradual.
It's very gradual. The the slope, that's the word I'm trying to find, is very gradual. So as that car kind of unloads off the corner, it begins to kind of offset and unload the right rear corner of that car, and that's what you're seeing here off of turn number 4 tonight, because that is a significantly tighter radius corner than turn 1 and 2.
Greg Ratliff still coming through here. Fleming up high, Ratliff down low. Tom Ashley right there in the picture as well. Tom Ashley been on a bit of a run lately.
Yeah, great run for him going on here.
There's TJ Rogers. I think what we're going to do is we're going to hop on board here with Royce Valley and just have a look at what he sees. And what he sees is cars all over the track. Jared, they get all in a single file, and then they just fan out through the corner.
Yeah, and I think that's just, you're trying to find some aero balance, right? You're trying to get a little bit more on the rear, but taking a little bit off the front, right? And all that good stuff. Or trying to get more on the front and taking some off the rear, right? But at the same time, you're also just trying to find a place. Greg Ratliff, big block down the front straightaway. He got rear-ended by that big block, and he almost got wrecked there.
Wow. So we see that from the in-car camera valley here, and he's come back on the track. Oops, we were kind of got off track there, but there he is, still in the middle of things, down on the low side. Now everybody getting kind of sorted out. So Greg Ratliff a couple times now, and I didn't catch that, Jared, but what exactly happened there?
Well, I'm trying to get a good replay. I don't want to say he blocked, but he is skating up the track right now.
Oh,
with
and
Tracy
Fleming's
Powers in
loose.
tow.
Here comes Powers underneath him. Powers has to back out of it and let Fleming gather that up. Brantley sees the advantage. He slips in there. Weiss goes to the bottom. They're 3 wide heading into the corner, and Weiss drives it in underneath everybody.
Battling there. Yeah, it looked like Greg Ratliff was barely clear as Weiss gets very loose in the middle of turn 2. That's going to put Brantley in a bad spot. Michael Walker on the outside flying by. There is all kinds of action going on in the mid-pack here tonight, Dean.
Yeah, it's getting a little crazy out there. These cars hard to handle, high-powered machines. Guys trying to get the power down. These cars going away early. It doesn't bode well for anybody pushing it. Powers into the wall a little bit. Fleming loose off the corner.
What a race we've got going on here tonight.
And there goes Torgerson on the outside of Pistol, or vice versa. Torgerson's loose. He controls it, hangs on to it. I think I'm glad to be in the booth tonight, Jared, instead of in the car. I don't know if I could hold my drink and get through the corner.
Man, it has been a wild one tonight, Dean. And that's the other thing, too. This is 110-degree track temp, 80-something degree air temp, might be right at 80 now. And that's going to make this really hot and slick, too. I mean, this is not a high grip surface, excuse me. So, I mean, this is part of this track is the slipping and sliding. We're seeing that here tonight.
Guy on the move, TJ Rogers, just got around Greg Ratliff. And TJ looking pretty good here. You see subtle little wiggles out of him, but he's keeping it under control. Let's go on board, see what we're dealing with here. And what we're seeing is an extremely busy wheel. Lots of flicking and flacking going on in there, Jared.
Yeah, and this track is low grips. You're just trying to hold on to that thing. He's a little bit loose off the corner as well. You could kind of tell there. And you're just trying to do everything you can to find some grip in that car, and there's a lot of countersteering. I mean, you don't have a lot of downforce in these Gen 4 cars here.
Jared on board. I mean, he is just moving that down the straightaway. It's just constant movement in the wheel. I don't even know what I'm looking at. I've never driven this way, but that thing is wobbling all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, it looks very similar to some of the setups I ran in 2K3 back in the day, for sure, where you're trying to hold on for dear life in this car. But I did want to cycle back to the front real quick. Chris Owens back in the lead, or has not relinquished the lead. He is setting sail right now, but this track has really introduced some spread that I didn't think we were going to have on lap 17. But there is not a lot of drivers inside the top 6 or 7 that are close together.
Oh, and Klaus
Williams!
I don't know if he got hit by Inman or not. Inman was riding close. Williams got a hair loose and might have got rubbed by Inman, and he did a great job of saving that car. The 16 stays alive. He'll fall to 8th or 10th here. It depends on who gets around him. Rogers goes around. Greg Ratliff, I think he'll go around as well.
Yeah, it looked like Klaus was in the middle of getting loose, and not much Austin Inman can do in that situation. Austin did let off the gas, but I think he still got into him just barely, but I think didn't really hurt too much there.
And you see Inman goes up the track. He gets a little yawed out. That'll bring Pistol underneath him looking for second. And this is what I was going to bring up. 1, 2, 3 on the track. Owens, Pistol, and Inman are the most experienced drivers, in my opinion. I don't have that as a fact, but at this kind of high-powered, high-slick driving, and it's showing, Jared. They're keeping their cars pretty much under them, and they've moved to the front.
Yeah, they have, and you look at the people that are here tonight, Dean. I mean, you think about the fact Jason Ratliff did not take the grid tonight, is we got George Dibble through the grass in the front straightaway. Oh my goodness, he was heading right for those pit barrels. But I mean, Lance Ripka's not here tonight. This is a huge opportunity for some of these drivers to get some points on these guys toward the front of the field, and the top 3 really showing their muscle here tonight.
We see a replay there of George Dibble, and Great job recorrecting back and staying off of pit road. Chris Owens, early leader as we're on lap 20 of 90. Pistol in second, Inman third, Torgerson fourth. Paris having a great run, up 5 spots into fifth. Tom Ashley likewise up 5 into sixth. Here comes TJ Rogers. He's our big mover. He's up 8 spots and he's looking pretty solid. But we already watched how he was driving, Jared. It's a handful out there.
It is, and you know, I've been really focused on this second pack that's led by Royce Valley. We got Tracy Powers trying to make a move on Greg Ratliff, and that's where the action's been at, is in this second group throughout the entire race so far tonight, as those top 6 have kind of scooted away. But boy, the rest of the field is basically right here from Royce Valley all the way back to Eric Whiting at the tail end of this group. I mean, this is a gaggle and a half.
Yeah, this is pretty wild here. There's Michael Walker, Russ Weiss at the back. Let's go into Weiss's car as he takes to the high side here. Let's have a look at all these cars in front of him. Again, they get in line basically down the straightaway, but a lot of unstable cars I'm seeing. And we head down in the corner and watch them fan out, Jared.
Yeah, and you look at this pack. I mean, we've highlighted struggles from Greg Ratliff. We've highlighted struggles from Klaus Williams. We've highlighted struggles from Ross Weave. We've highlighted struggles from Shane Fleming, who is super loose off turn 4 as I'm talking about him. I mean, this is a group of guys through here that maybe not really feeling this combination here tonight, Dean.
Yeah, this is a lot of work, Jared. I mean, this is one you'll be sweating when it's over, and you might be sore as well, depending on how much force feedback you're running.
Oh, Weiss and Fleming almost contact off turn number 2. Michael Walker scoots away from them, but this is some good driving. I mean, highlighting Royce Valley, Dean. I mean, solid run here tonight. You know, you talk about drivers that need good runs or maybe looking for good runs. He's had 3 starts in this car, Dean. No top 10s, and here he is running inside the top 10.
Yeah, looking good so far. Meanwhile, Pistol has lost 4 tenths. Not sure what happened. I think he must have broke loose on one of those corners because he was down to 3 tenths and now has to rework everything.
See if I can get any update on the Pistol situation, but Dean, I'm watching through it. I mean, for the last 4 or 5 laps, it looks like that he just didn't have speed. I mean, just to be honest, I mean, I looked through 5 laps, and yeah.
I mean, last lap he was faster than the leader. I'm really not sure how he lost that much time, but he certainly did. Maybe Chris Owens has just started to accelerate. Dibble's coming in. He's bringing French fries up here. I think he might have had enough here on lap 24.
Yeah, and you look at the gaps right now. 1.8 from Inman to Owens, and then a further 1.6 from Inman to Torgerson, who is by himself in 4th place. The gaps are starting to come in, but all of a sudden, I'm kind of circling this battle for 5th. TJ Rogers has started to encroach his way in on the 66 of Nick Paris and of the 62 of Tom Ashley. So TJ Rogers, I mean, he was last week's winner. In a kind of a walk-off fashion at a restrictor plate, which is something you don't really see. And TJ looking maybe to repeat here tonight, maybe just playing the wily veteran, being conservative.
Well, I tell you, we got an extended chopper view, and right in front of him, Paris loose. Down the track, he chases it and saves it, but Rogers going to drive around him. And I was just watching from this top-down view, and both of these guys were seriously fighting the car, Jared. That thing is wicked loose.
It is so hard to drive out here tonight, Dean, and that's why, I think, there's drivers that are enjoying this race tonight, and there's drivers that are like, get me out of this thing.
Yeah, absolutely. If I was wanted out, Jared, I'd want out on lap 1.
But a good run for Royce. Sorry, I keep screwing that up. Tom Ashley there. He is now caught up to the back of Troy Torgerson. Now, he has had a 5th place in this series once before, Dean, but Tom Ashley could be on pace for one of his best runs since that Darlington race way back in August. So, I mean, he is looking underneath Torgerson off of turn number 4 right now.
Yeah, Tom's been making massive improvements lately. He may disagree with it, but for our perception in the booth, I mean, he just seems like a different driver the last month or so, really finding his groove out here. You know, and I was going to say, Jared, is this an opportunity tonight for someone like Michael Walker or, you know, some of these other guys who kind of keep the car underneath them here, long-run drivers? I mean, we're on lap 27. You would think the move would have been started to be made already, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and I don't know. I know from experience that, you know, the B car is about 40 laps at this track. The trucks are somewhere in that 35 to 40 lap range. So I would say that the Gen 4 car is probably going to be around that range too. I don't have any prior knowledge. I have not ran this combination, but that's just my guess based on the horsepower and the bigger tank. I think they're probably going to get around the same amount of laps, even if the fuel mileage is worse. So if that's the case, Dean, I mean, you and I, we've talked about this all year. Get on pit road as soon as you can early on, is my opinion.
All right, Tom Ashley making his move underneath the Torgerson. So Tom Ashley trying to take over 4th or hold on to it here as Torgerson surges on the outside.
Torgerson, great run off the corner. Tom Ashley's been working him over for a few laps here. He's going to have the advantage going into turn number 1. But Torgerson, he's able to put that car right, put those right sides right on the seam. This is exactly how I like to run this track in the B car. Put the rights on the seams, but it looks like Torgerson does just let Tom Ashley go there and concedes the spot.
So Ashley up to 4th. Inman into 3rd. Pistol in 2nd. And there is Chris Owens. So Pistol still 7/10 back here of the lead. Inman has been maintaining.
Oh, Royce Valley is wrecking off turn 4, sliding the car through the grass, and he was just about to catch 7th place, Dean. What a tough break for Royce Valley.
No caution out there. Let's get a replay on it and see what happened. Royce Valley coming around the corner. And you can see he's already yawed out, and the keeps going, and he's still trying to put that throttle down. And we've seen this a few times. At least he kept it off of pit road. A little slower correction than some of the ones we've seen. But it's that turn 4, very dangerous here tonight. Chris Owens coming into pit road. Big pit stop here.
Greg Ratliff, while that was going on, also went down pit road. He got very loose, and I think he said, I'm going on pit road too. So Greg Ratliff down the way now. But man, that's tough for Royce Valley, because he was knocking on the door of maybe getting toward the top 5 here tonight, and now he's got to work all the way back all that time.
Well, let's go on board here with our race leader as we expect him to come in here, or at least shortly. Pistol coming around the corner.
Brantley, Fleming, Ross Weiss, Chris Owens is on pit road currently, Dean.
Here comes Troy Torgerson. Inman in front of him went in.
Oh! And Royce Valley has wrecked on pit road. And the night just gets worse for Royce Valley. He tried to make his pit stop, and he locked up the brakes and whipped it around right in the pit road, right as TJ Rogers was coming out of the pits. And, man, tough break for the 47 machine.
Wow. Treacherous track here tonight. Let's check our weather, Jared, and just see. It's 109 track temp tonight, so maybe a little bit hot out there.
Yeah, just a little bit. You know, and this track already doesn't need a lot of heat to be treacherous. I mean, it's a very low grip track. You know, not Darlington, not Rockingham low grip, but definitely the lowest grip of these type of tracks.
You see
West Pistol, 4-second lead.
Came in. Yeah, Pistol's got a lead, but remember, everybody's basically pitted who was around him. Tom Ashley was in about 4th. He is currently under 4 seconds behind our leader. As you see, Chris Owens going around our leader to get his lap back here. So Owens with the fresh rubber, surprisingly not running, remarkably faster here. Here comes Pistol, I think. As he tries to get it woed down, he will.
Yeah, good entry from Pistol. I like the late entry. You give up the least amount of time that way. Where will everything stack out, though, Dean? That's going to be the question, as Tom Ashley will take over the lead and get himself his first laps led of the season.
As it looks like Powers in second, Walker in third, Claus Williams, who started up front, now in fourth, and Eric Whiting still on the track. He's in fifth. Guys who pitted, Owens has about a 3-second lead over Inman. And here comes Tom Ashley. He'll relinquish the lead here. Good looking entrance here, nice and calm, under control. There's Walker going by. He will assume the race lead. Powers on the high side. He wants that point. I think Walker got it. Maybe Powers got it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Walker officially at the line did get registered as the leader, so he'll get that very crucial bonus point. But, he needs them. Ripka's not here. There will be provisionals offered. I don't know how many points that will be exactly, but Walker needs all the points he can get because he is in the thick of a points battle right now.
And here he comes. Walker down to the bottom. I think he's coming in. He's carrying a lot of speed here, Jared. This is a pretty good entrance if he's coming.
He is. Smooth entry.
Oh, too
no,
much.
he's not.
He locked him up there. The low brake bias got him, I would think. Maybe just too much speed. Hard to say. Austin Inman, has just set the best lap of the race with a 40.71. That is about a second and a half faster than race leader Tracy Powers. Now, these guys got to make it to lap 45 for the halfway. We're not expecting that, are we, Jared?
I missed what you said, Dean. I'm sorry.
You're fine. Brantley a little loose off the corner there. I don't believe these guys can make it to halfway. Powers and Williams still on the track.
Yeah, I think 40 is about the longest I would expect any of these guys to go. And I think, if you're Tracy Powers, you've been around 10th place tonight. I like the strategy to run long because you're trying to get a caution. You're trying to get something that kind of upsets the order of this race, and you come out on the positive side of it. So I like the move when you're deep in the field. Same with Claus Williams, who's kind of struggled after getting the pole here tonight. So these guys are trying to just kind of bank on something kind of falling their way, Dean.
Well, another thing, as Powers comes in here to relinquish that lead back around, actually, Claus Williams will take it over for a lap. But I also think about sometimes you get a car like this, Jared, it may never feel better than when you only have 1 or 2 gallons left in the tank. It just seems to tighten it up a little bit. And they're probably thinking, why would I pit now? This is the first time I haven't broken loose all night.
Absolutely. We do have a lot of people out in the chat tonight. Love to see it. Obviously, we talked about Doyle being out there. We talked about Paul Travis being out there. And we also got Daniel Copeland out there, Dean, rooting on West Pistol in the 98. We've talked about him a few times as Claus Williams relinquishes the lead and heads to pit road. We also have got Jason Jackson, Dean, out there, one of our Xfinity and Gen 6 guys out there watching this race, calling it cheese grater on the tires. We got Todd Gilly out there watching the Red Fox Motorsports teammates of TJ Rogers and Austin Edmonds from the lake. That sounds like a great view, Todd.
I love it. Absolutely love it. We had someone out there watching Pistol. I got to tell you, Pistol's got to be one of the favorites tonight. He's right where he started. So, obviously Owens and Inman in front of him here as Claus Williams has pitted. So he's in his pit stall. Owens now the race leader with Inman in second, about 2.7 back. Then Pistol, another second behind him. And TJ Rogers, who's up 11 spots, into fourth. Torgerson rounds out your top 5 right now, Jared.
Yeah, this has been such a great race. We also got Todd Gilly let me know that provisionals pay 1 point less than last place. So that is going to be something to look at, as I think Michael Walker, with a decent result, Dean, can probably pick up the point lead. I think if he finishes inside the top 10 tonight, he might be our new point leader at the end of it. We also got Bobby checking in. He says, Dean, my man. So you and Bobby must be tight.
Absolutely. Very tight with Bobby. We're looking at Greg Ratliff here, Jared, and it was interesting because, it was quite a wild run, in my opinion, for the 5 on that first run. Here he is sitting in 7th right now. I mean, has he got something figured out? I mean, is he just racing through this tough-to-drive car with speed?
Well, I think the first run is, you're kind of put on the front foot right at the beginning, right? You're in a pack. The track isn't rubbered in, right? They do run a lot of practice. Just so everybody at home understands, there is a lot of practice. They start those at moderately low usage, but they do carry it over from practice into qualifying and then into the race. So there is a little bit of rubber built up, but they're not necessarily built up all over the track, right? So I think that you're put on the front foot. The track's not rubbered in the groove you're starting in most of the time. It's when you're practicing, you're pretty much running the preferred line the entire time. So I think there's a lot of things that kind of play into that with Greg Ratliff. But the other thing too is, I think that maybe he wasn't exactly sure where the limit of that car was, right, Dean? And he found that limit, and now he kind of settled back in and figure out his pace and rhythm and try to grab a top 5 out of it, which is something Greg Ratliff has done a lot this year.
Yeah, I think that's a great summary of his experience here tonight. Want to look in on Tom Ashley, currently in 11th. He is down low, running underneath Fleming, looking ahead to Brantley as well. Ashley was up in the top 4 there, I believe, into 4th place. So we'll see if he can work his way back up. Right now, Owens leading. Inman starting to make inroads. He's 3 seconds. It's actually Pistol who's catching Inman, Jared.
Yeah, the gap is closing down only a little bit over under half a second right now. Do want to give you a little bit of an update. We have lost Herb Ashley and Tony Ratliff from that earlier wreck that did not bring out a caution. George Dibble behind the wall eating some French fries, from what I'm hearing, in 19 laps down. Royce Valley has retired from the race as well. We did have 2 speeding penalties. Eric Whiting and Bob LaPrime both hit with speeding. That will leave you 14 cars on the lead lap, with the last place of those being Michael Walker, who had that half spin coming onto pit road, Dean, and has set him back. Tom Ashley also had that excursion on pit road, and where he kind of got a little bit loose on entry as well. Very slow stop, and that's put him back as he tries to work around Jason Brantley right now.
Yeah, what I'm noticing right now is some really big gaps out on the field. Owens out front. From our blimp cam here, you can see 3 seconds back to Inman and Pistol. This is your big battle for position right now. And then another gap to Rogers. There's Torgerson. Baris is all alone. Then Ratliff basically alone. Weiss closing in. Ashley there. Brantley. But these pit stops have really created this separation.
Yeah, and I think, Dean, if you bring up that pit lap board, right, I mean, you're looking at Owens on 30, Inman on 31. Pistol stayed out long, so he has a little bit fresher rubber than these 2 guys in front of him. Lap 33. Rogers on 30. And we can go down that list. Greg Ratliff pitted early on 29, so he is probably being caught by these guys behind him. Weiss on 30. Tom Ashley on 34. Brantley and Fleming on 30, and Klaus Williams on 38, with Powers on 37. So all these guys behind this group, and Michael Walker, on 35. Dean, I think there's going to be a little ebb and flow this time around, because there's a big mixed bag of tire strategy, and you're probably thinking like, oh, well, that's only 8 laps between the guy that pitted first and the guy that pitted last. That's a ton of time at a track like Auto Club, Dean.
Yeah, and one guy I noticed there, and folks, if you're looking on the right side of your screen and see that chart, you can see the yellow streak is how long they went on their first stint. You got like Eric Whiting, Tracy Powers, and Klaus Williams all went very long. I'll be curious to see if they make up any time. Right now, they're about 2-3 tenths faster than our leaders.
Yeah, and you look at the lap times, look at it, Chris Owens, for instance, our race leader. It's about a half a second to 7/10 of a second fall off in 8 laps. So that is kind of what you're looking at for these guys as they move through the field. So something to think about. There is a leveling off period, Dean, as obviously as we know that, but we do have a battle on the track, though. Ross Weiss is battling hard right now with Tom Ashley, who has those fresher tires.
Yeah, Ashley has good tires. He's working on Weiss. In front of them, Greg Ratliff right there.
And Ratliff, the oldest tires on the field right now, Dean. So, and Greg is a wily veteran, and he is loose right there off turn 4.
Oh, no, and Weiss chases it down almost into the grass. He'll save it. Brantley will come around, put Brantley up to 9th. Ashley's up to 8th. And now he starts to work on Greg Ratliff for 7th.
And Dean, I'm watching these turn 4s, and I've been on board a few guys. The problem is you can, and we've talked about this ad nauseum before, and maybe not with this car, but with the Xfinity car, is that you could, like, momentum can only go in one direction. And as you change momentum left to right and front to back, you have to unload one of those other things, right? So a lot of these drivers coming off turn 4, they're still holding that wheel, turning hard to the left because the radius is so much more narrow, right, Dean? But they're trying to add throttle to it. And what's happening is you're yanking to the left, you're adding throttle, and that right rear unloads every time. That's why we're seeing these issues off turn 4 tonight, Dean.
Jared, this is why I love this place. I preach it off of 4 constantly, low and late. Let's get that 45-degree angle to the wall, get our wheels straight, and gas up. You will save tire. You will be faster in the long run. It's for me, it works fantastically. And what you said, I'm watching this. They're almost trying to pull that car around that exit, and it just can't be done with the looseness that's in here tonight.
Yeah, do not pull the
car. Oh no, and
anywhere,
Baris down. First caution of the night. Baris with the slow spin on the track. That'll bring out our first yellow. We're going to re-rack them. And you see all alone just broke loose off of 4. And he weebled and wobbled down the straightaway until he broke loose finally the last time. And that brought out a caution.
And I will say this, man. I'm sure people at home are like, wow, that looks, a little bit weird, right? But this car, when you get loose and you hit those banking transitions, it just like resets and it makes you like unbelievably hard to hold on to it. I had this exact same experience at Atlanta, which is a very similar track, and it looked like I was trying to bring out caution, but in reality, I'm just trying to hold on for dear life.
Yeah,
so I did want to point that out.
I think and it's great that you did, Jared. The car, we clearly see from the in-car cameras, his hands are working overtime, and this car is unstable. You get it unstable, and it's that weeble wobble thing I like to mention, it's going to happen. You're going to have to, the only way out of it is to completely shut her down and, almost come to a stop. So, and guys, just race car drivers are they're not going to do that, so I thought he did a decent job of keeping it under control there.
So something that Jason Jackson, was talking about, or Bobby was talking about out in the chat, Dean, was this pit stop coming right on the fringes of being able to make it on fuel. I mean, we're kind of staring down a fringe fuel mileage race, Dean.
Wow, this is huge. And this is going to allow someone to maybe drive the way they should drive anyway. I remember being in a fuel mileage race here, and I'd hit the clutch halfway down the back straight, Jared. And not only was I saving fuel, by lap 15, I was the fastest car on the track doing that.
Yeah, there's some techniques. There's some techniques. We do have one car lap down. He'll get the wave around here. That is Bob LaPrime. But, yeah, this is going to be a crucial pit stop for these drivers, Dean.
It is. And, Torgerson backing up in his stall. That's tragedy. So Torgerson's definitely going to fall. I think he might have sat there a bit before he backed up. I'm not sure. We'll keep an eye on it.
TJ Rogers down and away. Great stop there. Owens wins the race off, followed by Pistol TJ Rogers. What a stop by him, up to third, beats out looks like the 18 of Inman. What a job by TJ Rogers, Dean.
Yeah, we look at those times. Torgerson a 16.4. That cost him at least a few spots. He falls back into sixth. Rogers excels and gets into third. So, yeah, things shaking up here late.
Yeah, and you know, out in the chat, we got a lot of guys out here talking. I love it. Keep being engaged with the chat out here. We are having a great time. But as Todd Gilly said out there, Dean, the Toad Man, he said, man, this is going to give some new life to some guys that had some pit road errors. And he is exactly right. The field is bunched up. And I want to add on to that, Dean, it's going to give new life to guys that maybe just now figured out how to drive this place.
Yeah, that's where
and struggled in that front run.
That's where I was going to go, Jared. A guy like Greg Ratliff seemed to find a bit of a groove later on. He's got a chance to reset. Everybody knows now in this field that if I overdrive this, this is what's going to happen. If I hit that high line for 3-4 laps in a row early, my car's probably going to break loose on me. So we'll see who makes these adjustments and who comes to the front and who fades. It's going to be highly entertaining. That much I know for sure.
Absolutely, and I do want to point out, I think we have everybody on the lead lap that is still active in the race. Bob LaPrime did take the wave around. He's back on the lead lap. So yeah, we have 15 cars running, all of them on the lead lap. I don't think there's anybody out here with any damaged cars. If they did, they probably got them fixed under this caution. So I think it's kind of a complete reset here, Dean.
Yeah, this is going to get wild. I mean, you got guys who learn, but you also got guys who don't particularly care. They're just going to go for it, and they're going to be good for 10 laps. I look for someone from fifth on back, try and get up here and take the lead, just, wrapping the wall.
Yeah, and as Jason Jackson said out there, you got to have an egg under the pedal because it is going to be hard and slick. And don't overdrive this thing because there's still a lot of time left in this race.
Here we go. Owens and Pistol, Rogers and Inman, Ashley and Torgerson. Pace car off the track. We're going back. Green flag racing here at Auto Club.
Green flag, green flag.
A little bit of a slow start by Pistol. Didn't get the pedal down. Maybe got a little bit loose on that outside groove, but he does recover nicely, and he's going to be able to clear TJ Rogers off into turn one, and he's going to look underneath Owens going into turn two.
And you see Owens just running that middle groove, Pistol to the bottom, Inman around Rogers, so those guys get sorted out. Ashley's got Torgerson on that high side. Will Torgerson take to the wall? He will.
Brantley with the big power move. Brantley with the big move on the outside of Greg Ratliff, and here comes Klaus Williams. Powers with the big move on the outside of Michael Walker. The outside line is coming. Here's Michael Walker getting loose there, 3 wide behind him.
Yeah, that's Fleming right there in the middle. Powers up high. Baris, who was just involved in that caution, he's trying to come through on the high side as well. Action all over the track. Brantley excelling right around Klaus Williams. Look at that drive by the 3. Holy cow.
Brantley with a big move, putting the car right on the wall, using that to his advantage, and moves up another spot. Here comes, there's so much stuff going on the track right now, dude.
There really is. Settling down just a little bit here as they get in line.
There might have been a little contact between Inman and TJ Rogers. Rogers gets underneath of him off of turn 2. If there wasn't, it was very close. Could not tell from my camera angle, but they are tight going into turn 1.
Inman trying to turn in, and Rogers kind of running him up a little bit on entry there. So Inman did a nice job of staying off of him. They come through the corner, and he falls in behind Rogers. I don't know if he didn't want to go down low or not. We'll stay with this battle as it might be getting a little testy here.
Yeah, and again, I don't know if there was contact in 3 and 4. It looked very close like it did in 1 and 2. So it might have just been close, but tough racing here as we get underneath. 30 laps to go coming up soon. But everybody knows to tail throughout the field right now, Dean.
Yeah, everybody in line here. A lot of fear out there, Jared, and rightfully so.
Brantley not fearful of the wall. He's right up against that thing, ripping the outside, and gets a whale of a run come off turn 2.
Yeah, Brantley's putting it down. He says, I don't care about your tire saving or anything else. I'm going to the front, baby.
TJ Rogers also moved to the middle groove in 3 and 4. So we're starting to see some drivers searching around for a little bit. Here is Greg Ratliff with a big move off turn number 4. My goodness, he had so much power on it, Dean. He was wiggling off of turn 4.
Yeah, really getting after it. Burris trying to make a move underneath a Weiss. He will. So Burris up to 11th now. Up front.
Here comes Rogers.
Owen's doing a nice job. Yeah, Rogers fighting. He's on the outside of Pistol. Big race for second. It looks like Pistol's going to back her down and let him have it.
Or is he? Here comes Pistol is. He's not, but he can't do much on the bottom, right? He can't open up the wheel like you want to when you have somebody on the outside. And Rogers, all the way to second place, is in. And I think, he's kind of watching maybe like, hey, Brantley's moving this groove, running this groove. He's hearing some stuff probably, and now he's starting to wrap that high side. Here he goes again, puts those rights right on the seam, Dean, and then lets the car come across the seam. Not my preferred way of attacking 1 and 2, but it is working right now for TJ Rogers.
Well, I mean, it's working now, Jared. That car, now TJ Rogers constantly proving me wrong, right? So I almost hate to do it. But that running that high line I don't think it'll work out for that machine. But if anybody can do it, it's that 72 machine, I'm telling you.
Yeah, the big thing that I always have concerns about is crossing over the seams, because that does upset the balance of the car as you do that more and more. And so I like to enter above the seam if I'm going to run the high side and stay above that seam. Use less paddle entering the corner. But if you drop below that seam and then you come back across it, you could have some handling imbalances. But he is making that thing work right now. He is caught up to the back bumper of Chris Owens. Will we have our second lead change of the night, Dean? Right here, Rogers looking, doesn't take.
And Rogers had sparks coming off the wall. He was yawed out, rubbing his rear end all over the wall like a dog on a tree. Holy smokes.
And that's how you have to do it. If you want to this track.
Owens cut down. I don't know if he's trying to break the draft or he just got a little loose, Jared.
I think he was trying to break the draft because he knows TJ Rogers has got to have a big run here. Rogers not all the way to the wall this time, running the middle groove. The car doesn't look as good there. A little bit tight center off there, Dean, in that center groove. Lost a little time.
Yeah, I think he's burning them up. I really like Owens, of course, our leader, but I like what West Pistol's been doing. Seems to be very calm, very under control, and he's just riding the bottom, coming out a little bit later out of the corner. I'd like to see it even later than he's doing, but he's doing a nice job. Now he's going to come underneath the Rogers. Here comes Pistol.
Pistol on the bottom, charging hard, and this is a tight angle down there. Rogers moves to the high side, put the rights right on the seam, which is I think a really good method. If you're going to run that high side, he's going to get a good run off the corner. Will Pistol clear him? No, he can't. Rogers back alongside.
Yeah, Rogers getting those mammoth runs. You're going to have to work for it if you want to get by the 72. My advice to Pistol, just keep running. Just be patient.
Yeah, that's the hardest part, Dean. It's like, man, I feel good. I feel like I'm faster than this guy. I see Chris Owens leaving me behind. But if you start battling with TJ Rogers, you're going to let Austin Inman catch back up, which he has done. And all of a sudden, Chris Owens is going to check out, and he's not going to be – you're not even going to have a chance to get to him.
Now, Jared, we talk a lot about air and air disturbance on here. What do you think on a night like tonight when you got a loose race car? Everybody's always, let's get some air on the front. Let's not get in the guy's wake. I like to get in someone's wake and tighten my machine up. I'll follow them just to tighten it up.
Yeah, and it depends on the car, right? I mean, in splitter-based cars, it's a little bit different. This is a valence-based car, so the aero effects are a little bit different. As you move behind somebody, the aero effects do shift forward and not rearward. So it does, in fact, make it a little bit harder when you're behind cars compared to the Xfinity car or the Gen 6 car, things like that we're kind of more familiar with. But I think that you're going to see that these cars, the aero effects aren't nearly the same as those other cars. So you could kind of do what you're saying, Dean, by running up on somebody, getting a little bit more air off the front end, and kind of lets that car relax off the corners.
All right, still racing hard. Rogers high, Pistol low. It continues the whole time. Austin Inman lurking in the Sharpie machine. Just looking very smooth here, being patient. Maybe it's his time to come forward. Of course, Owens is loving all of this, Jared.
Absolutely, and you took the words right out of Todd Gilly. He said the A team was just sitting there watching and waiting. And another thing, Dean, a veteran out there that we know well, Mr. Darren Bruce, said all these cars gaining spots up high right now are going to be giving them up in the long run. And I wonder if that's going to start happening. But, boy, it's tough to pass on the bottom either way, as T.J. Rogers now gets a little bit too high, and Pistol is there.
Yeah, we're about 5 laps away, Jared, to seeing some really big movements. Brantley putting moves over Ratliff, Greg Ratliff, as we look back at Rogers and Pistol again, the battle continuing.
It's hard to focus on every battle going on, but we have that third place battle. We also have the Brantley, Ratliff, Powers, Klaus Williams, Baris group that's battling pretty hard. Then we have the stragglers off the back. They're starting to come forward. Fleming, Walker, Weiss, and Fleming. Those guys, or LaPrime, apologies. Those guys starting to gain up on the second pack. But then you have, Tom Ashley, Dean. We talked about him earlier, how he was running inside the top 5. He broke away from that second pack. He's kind of by himself in no man's land, but he is catching up to the back of Torgerson. And I have to wonder if this battle for second place is kind of allowing Torgerson and Tom Ashley to kind of hang around and maybe be threats here at the end of this race.
I think it is. There goes Pistol one more time underneath the Rogers. Rogers doing an excellent job. And like I said, when we were talking about someone on the high side, doubting T.J. Rogers is a mistake more times than not, Jared. That man can drive.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. And you see right there, clears them again. And I think that the problem is the momentum is so powerful right now on the outside. Pistol, I think, had one opportunity. And Pistol's going to go with the middle groove. Rogers might have got the wall. And Austin Inman's going by both of them. 3 wide off 2.
Inman seen that opportunity open up, and he did not hesitate. We are 3 wide heading down into 3. Side by side by side.
Inman down to the apron. Rogers to the middle. Pistol pinches Inman just a little bit. Rogers well up high, right scraping the wall. Still 3 wide off of turn number 4. West Pistol comes out ahead of Rogers. Inman still side by side with Pistol.
So now Pistol gonna have to ride the high side. T.J. Rogers looking for room. There is none. He thought about making some, but now he's back on that wall. He'll rip it again and try to get back up there.
Contact.
Those 2 contact. Inman's loose. Inman holding on to it. Here comes Torgerson.
Pistol loses the ground to Rogers. Rogers on the outside of him. So all that work from Inman and contact. And now Rogers back on the outside of Pistol. Pistol couldn't complete the pass. And oh my goodness, we have seen some punches thrown.
Definitely punches thrown. I don't know what round we're in. A little contact there. Rogers sneaks underneath the Pistol. Can Rogers run the bottom? Does he run Pistol up to the wall? And he just drives it in hard. Wow, and a big crossover. Pistol with the correct move. That was an awesome job by both drivers. Off the corner, a little loose, almost contact.
Goodness gracious, that could have ended in tears right there. At the same time that was going on, Tom Ashley and Austin Inman tight battling in turn 1. They settled that out for now, but Tom Ashley is there with Austin Inman, who's trying to recover. Probably got those tires hot trying to hold on to it. All the while, Dean, as Pistol completes the pass on Rogers, Chris Owens is taken off from this group, Dean.
Yeah, Owens is the big winner out of this group. The other winner, Troy Torgerson, who's just been riding, watching all this. His tires probably better than these guys at this point. Rogers' car starting to go away. You can see it pulling down the track. And trying to avoid him, Torgerson breaks loose.
That was tight to contact. I think Rogers got a little bit loose there. Dean, it's tough to tell from my vantage
He
point.
did.
But man,
He got that loose where it just pulls you straight down the track, Jared. And he was coming towards Torgerson. Torgerson seen it, might have overreacted, but he lives to fight another day.
and now Rogers. So here's the fun part, right? Rogers' tires are clearly hot. Inman's tires are hot, and maybe he's hot behind the collar too. So I don't even know what this group is going to look like. Pistol has stepped away from them and is trying to chase down Chris Owens, but we have a tight battle between 4 cars right now, maybe 5 cars, as Brantley kind of pokes his nose in there for 3rd place, Dean.
Yeah, it's getting crazy. I mean, I don't. Brantley in 7th right now, Jared. Just to be clear on that. But Baris underneath of Greg Ratliff, and these two are going at it. You see Greg's loose off the corner on the high side as his car's going away. 18 laps to go. Chris Owens with about a second and a half lead. Can he hang on? I mean, he's proven that he probably can. Baris trying to complete this pass. He's looking strong.
And the other thing too, Dean, is these guys. Oh, as Torgerson gets loose off turn 2, he's going to lose a spot to Austin Inman, who is probably driving really hard right now. But Inman gets around him, so Torgerson loses a spot. But the other thing we got to keep an eye on, Dean, these drivers can only do 38 to 39 laps on fuel, and we are right on that level of being able to make it. And I'm sure the drivers that have been wrapping the high side have most definitely used more fuel. So this is something we have to keep an eye on as this race goes on, if anybody will be struggling on fuel at the end of this thing.
Well, and the way they're racing, Jared, I mean, I don't even know if they've thought about it yet. They better start thinking about it.
Inman underneath Rogers. This is a battle for 3rd. Torgerson and Tom Ashley look on, and Rogers holding on for now.
Rogers doing what he does. He's going to take to the high side. Oh, that time he had to really check up to avoid getting in the wall. Inman slides on through. Rogers fading back to Torgerson now.
Inman through, and Rogers. Then we have Torgerson, Ashley, and Brantley. That's kind of our battle for 3rd place right now. Those 4 cars, or 5 cars in that group. We do have Tracy Powers, who's finally separated himself from that second group we were kind of talking about earlier. He is chasing this group down. I don't know if he has enough time to make it into this group, and Rogers loose off turn 2. Torgerson's going to try to take advantage with help from Tom Ashley down the backstretch.
So Torgerson through and Ashley coming as well. So Rogers still rocking the high side, but the car going away. He drives it into the wall, Jared. And here comes Brantley looking to take advantage as well. So Brantley will come underneath. He'll take 7 or 6 away from Rogers.
Yeah, I think Darren Bruce was very prophetic there. The high side definitely has went away for some of these drivers, Dean.
There's no doubt about it. Now, clear sailing for our top 3. Owens in command out here leading this thing. He's been in command all night. I know you've talked about him. He's the highest rated driver in this series, or was. I mean, he's showing it, isn't he?
Absolutely. And I do want to also point out too, Dean, technically Klaus Williams did not lead a lap here tonight. So Owens has been the only leader outside of pit stops, where we had 3 different drivers, and I may have missed one there, leading outside of Owens tonight. But those were all under cautions. Owens has been the only green flag lap leader tonight. And what a dominant performance he's putting on. West Pistol right now, Dean, the lap times are very identical. He's not gaining time. The gap has stagnated, and Owens is really kind of in cruise control right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's the thing. This is what happens out here. You get a 20-lap shootout or so, and then everybody kind of equalizes. Everybody's car is worn out. Passing becomes nearly impossible. So only the most serious of tire savers are be moving forward now, and maybe that is Tracy Powers. Klaus Williams, pit road. Wow.
Yeah, so there you go. And we had to wonder if Fuel was going to come into this, and he did pit from a reasonable position, Dean, and that's got to scratch some heads. You know, is there that opportunity to have to pit here?
Well, I'll tell you right now, if there is, and Fleming, as wrecked on pit road, I'm not sure what's going on down here, but maybe we'll get a quick replay and see what happened with him. Oh, he's down through the grass, so he was never on pit road. He was in the grass, bobbing and weaving and circling, and finally he hits the inside wall and tries to figure it out from there, Jared.
Yeah, and stay green. But Dean, Chris Owens was the highest rated driver to go back to that until Talladega last week, where he basically was outside of the pack the entire race, and finished the last car running in that race. So really took a hit. But if you exclude that race, he is our second highest rated driver behind Jason Ratliff. And man, he has been dominant tonight, to say the least.
All right, we just quickly rattled through our top 13 there. Only Williams on pit road, and Jared, if they can't make it, I love what Williams did. If they can make it, well, it looks to me actually like Klaus Williams is not coming off a pit road. He is, oh, there he comes. So he is coming off now. Very interesting there. It seemed like a long stop. We'll bring up our pit board.
Yeah, I'm
a
getting
58 second, that's a penalty, I think he
Yeah,
had
he
to
got
serve.
a penalty. I was about to say he got a penalty on my end, Dean, or he had a flag on my end. So I think he might have sped.
I mean, that's a little late to be serving a penalty for speeding. I think he must have been, maybe he came down pit road, got loose or something, like did something else. I don't know, Jared.
Yeah, I mean, 58 seconds would be a penalty for speeding if you take a service.
So you saying he came in twice here right now?
No, that's still his first time. He was at the
Oh,
line.
I
Dean.
got you. I'm sorry. I'm confusing myself. Sorry, folks. I'm old. Give me a break.
It's all good, but he was at 80 miles an hour going across the line. So
all right.
just to
That's a little quick.
confirm that.
That's
Well,
a little old school pit stop there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Miss those days, Jared. Go down pit road whatever speed you want.
Yeah, I don't think the pit crews miss him.
So Owen's working his way around Fleming there. Always dangerous tonight. Car's so loose. You've seen Owens take some real care there with that move, Jared. That's smart business right there.
Yeah, it is, and you know that's what this racetrack and this race has really been about, is taking care of your equipment and trying to stay around to the end and get what you can get. It's almost Darlington-esque, right? Race this track and get what you can get out of it.
Powers making moves. TJ Rogers trying to fight back on the inside here. Powers high, Rogers low.
That's the only battle on track, and I do want to check in on possibly, our point leader Michael Walker is getting on the fringes of the top 10, Dane, and we did have, from what I can tell, 20 cars that gridded. So Jason Ratliff would be awarded 21st place points. So that is a 10-point difference there. So I think Michael Walker, if he can just hold on to this position, he'll be tied. If he can gain one more position, Michael Walker might be our point lead heading into the next week.
And I love this type of run, Jared. This is I don't like the track. I don't like the car tonight. And I'm just going to ride clean and green, and we're going to see what happens. And here he is, finds himself just on the outside of the top 10. I wouldn't be surprised if he breaks in before this thing's over. That's a championship run there for Michael Walker.
Yeah, and almost three wide right in front of him as Weiss gets underneath of Parise and TJ Rogers, who continues to hemorrhage time in that 72 machine. That car looked so good early on, but it is definitely given up the grip for TJ Rogers as Weiss gets by pretty easily.
Yeah, Weiss up into 8th. Been a quiet night for the Tide machine. Doing a nice job, though. We're coming down to 6 to go here in the Kylou Glass Gen 4 series at Auto Club. Chris Owens, wire-to-wire leader. Rogers up into the wall a little bit. Parise comes through. So 9th to Parise, 8th to Weiss. Next up, ahead of them, Brantley, the big possum. He's up 7 into 6. Our other big mover, Tom Ashley, up 7 into 4th. So Ashley finds himself back in the top 5.
I do want to point this out too. If there is any doubt that you can make it on fuel, you're not coming off pit road at this point. You're gonna have you are probably going to run out and then hit pit road, but you're not going to gamble that you're going to run out. You're going to stay on the track as long as you can at this point in time, I think, Dean.
On Powers off the wall. I think so too, Jared. I mean, there's no way anybody's purposely coming in at this point. So Powers catches the wall. Weiss comes underneath him here. Weiss looking to take 7th place away.
And everything pretty status quo at the front. I mean, Owens has opened up the gap even more over Ross Weiss. I mean, that gap now 2.3 seconds. A further second back to Austin Inman, and then a further second back to Tom Ashley. Then we have a little bit of a gap, another second back to Troy Torgerson, about 8/10 to Brantley, and then we have this battle with Weiss and Powers and TJ Rogers kind of in this group here that are kind of the only drivers on track that are close. But if you look at the lap times, Dean, Michael Walker II is quicker by 3/10 than all three of these guys. He is gaining on them.
We're all on board with Michael Walker. You see right in front of him, Barris and Powers. So they're taking to battling. Walker trying to keep it steady and make up ground here, maybe steal a spot or two. Walker is officially in the top 10 already. Way ahead, Weiss working on, that looks like Fleming on the high side, a lap car.
Yeah, Fleming 1 lap down after that excursion through the grass. And Klaus Williams 3 laps down, Whiting 4 laps down. That's our last group of remaining. LaPrime not in any issue of being lapped unless he comes down pit road. So 13 cars on the lead lap, 3 wide as Fleming is up on the high side. He's getting out of it. Good move by Fleming there. He doesn't want to be any influence on the end of this race.
Well, he slides down right in front of Walker here. Walker will come underneath them here as they head down into the corner. And all seems well. So with 3 to go, Chris Owens out front. There is Klaus Williams trying to get a lap back. Pistol, 2.5 back of our leader. Inman right in there in the top 3. The battle's still
there
with Walker.
Yeah, he is there. He could pick up, and this is, Dean, if Walker, even if he doesn't pick up these positions, this is a championship type drive as he is on the outside of Tracy Powers through the middle of 1 and 2. This is huge. Picking up spots late in a race is massive for a championship caliber run, and Michael Walker might be able to skim a couple more spots before this thing is done.
Yeah, and Barris as well, having a nice night. He got around Powers here. But Walker, like you said, he's going to come out of here probably the points leader. And I just love what I'm seeing from him. We are on the white flag lap. Chris Owens out here leading this thing wire to wire. What a night for the 26, this Bell South machine. It's just been solid as a rock. Great restarts. Haven't seen too much of him getting loose or anything else. Just kept the car under him all night long. Owens down through 3 out of 4. He is going to come home and take the checkered flag. If he can keep it straight here, he will. He'll win the Auto Club 200. Pistol come home in 2nd. Inman 3rd. Ashley, Torgerson, Brantley, Weiss. Then Walker will beat Barris to the line and take 8th place. Barris 9th. Powers in the top 10.
A couple things. I mean, we did not talk about Chris Owens nearly a lot in this race, and that's because he dominated this event. I mean, he led basically from start to finish. If it was a green flag lap, he was the leader without cautions. I mean, he dominated this event, and sometimes that sucks when you're trying to get some airtime, and we talk about drivers. But man, what a dominant performance! And I cannot cannot emphasize that enough. The other thing too, Michael Walker, the other driver who probably will be the point leader coming out of this thing, he was 11th on lap 84. Dean, he comes home 8th. I mean, that is a championship type of drive. But kudos to both those drivers, and what a job by Chris Owens to grab the victory here tonight.
Yeah, one happy man, that 26 on a tough night, hard to handle. He handles it better than anybody else, keeps it all together. Now he's going to go wreck that machine. It's going to cost him money, Jared.
Yeah, not the. I mean, hey, I mean, I'm sure you got plenty of more back there, but at the
I mean,
shop
we're gonna
after
have
that
to repaint this logo here. No, that's a happy man. I love seeing it. That's an awesome job. And, we talked about everybody else in the top 10, but awesome ride. He finds himself into the 19th hole, victory lane there. I love it. What a race. One of my favorite tracks. Right now, let's go to a commercial break, Jared. We'll come back. We'll get some race interviews and talk some more about it. All right, back here at Auto Club Speedway. You can see this top-down view of the track. It's a beauty. I absolutely love it. I can't believe it's not there anymore, Jared.
Yeah, and it's very jarring to look at those pictures of it. But what a great race tonight! I mean, Chris Owens just absolutely dominated. Do want to point out a couple things. Nick Maurice, this was his debut in this car. He had not run any Gen 4 cars before tonight, so what a run for him. Best finish of the year for Tom Ashley as well, coming home fourth. It did get tight between second and third. Pistol started to lose some ground to Inman late, but Pistol did hold off that position. But what a race. I mean, this is really going to shake things up as we head into Richmond next week.
Yeah, it certainly is. As a matter of fact, Jared, let's go ahead and look at that right now. And before we get into interviews here, and we'll see, this is the unofficial updated standings. A 3-point lead for Walker. Pistol slides into second. Owens 6 points back into third. The Rifleman, not here tonight, is sitting home with his new baby boy. Congratulations on that. He slides into fourth. Torgerson fifth. Lance Ripka in sixth. Tracy Powers, Greg Ratliff, Brantley. So we got 9 drivers unofficially within about 30 points, Jared.
Yeah, it's really tight at the top, and I think that this is going to be extremely fun. I also got word that Todd Gilly is not paying for that logo damage, so yeah, we probably get out of here quick.
We'll discuss that in the next round of licensing agreement talks. We'll see who's paying for what. I mean, the drivers out here causing unnecessary damage. It's just the way it's got to be. Let's get into some race interviews, Jared, as we bring in Mr. Austin Inman with a third place finish here on a very difficult night out there. Congratulations, Austin.
Thank you, guys. How you guys doing today?
Well, I think we're probably doing a little better than you are at this point, Austin. I don't imagine there was a lot of time for taking a drink or getting any hand off the wheel for anything. Tell us a little bit about the track car combo tonight.
Yeah, you're definitely right in that very difficult track car combo. The track is super rough. With how hot it was just wicked loose coming off the exits and tight end. So really 2 conditions that are very hard to manage in this car. I wasn't able to get down to the white line in 1 and 2 and be fast like the other guys were. I don't know how they were able to do that, but that first groove I found worked for me, but that kind of ate my tires a little bit, especially towards the end. I was really just like a tractor plow into 1 and 2.
Yeah, it doesn't take much, right? A couple laps, you get them heated up, and then they get a little out of sorts for sure. I thought you were in the catbird seat there momentarily. I think Rogers was up there along with Pistol, and you ended up 3 wide going to the bottom there, and I thought, here we go. Austin's going to the front. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, we got a 3 wide there. I think we, at that point we were all, I feel like, pretty evenly matched on tires. Now in this car, all of us discovered in the race that if you get up behind someone or next to someone, you just get super loose. So I was able to manage it, I think, for 1 turn or 1 or 2 turns, and then either the second or third turn, just the loose just got too bad. And I mean, I can't believe I saved it because I was sawing at the steering wheel and playing with the throttle so much. But I mean, if I was able to get by at that point, I might have had a chance of chasing down Chris. But he was just really, really fast today. So I don't know if anyone was going to be able to chase him down.
Well, two things I wanted to ask you about as far as driving this machine. One is we see people sawing the wheel on the straightaway alone, Austin. That's new. I mean, this car was moving around. And the other thing is getting into a corner. I mean, it's like you're tiptoeing on ice. And if you're side by side with someone, boy, oh boy, it's a real tentative feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, I know in the most recent iRacing update, they changed the power steering. So it's a little, there's less power steering force. So it's providing more raw force from the pavement to the wheel. So that's definitely part of it. I really try to be as calm behind the wheel as possible, especially in this car, because sawing the wheel, whether you think about it or not, also eats away at some tire too. And then your second point, yeah, again, like just getting side by side or getting someone behind you in this car with the, I guess the recent aero updates they just did to it, man, the car just wants to spin out from underneath you. I mean, I did it to someone earlier on the race. I don't remember who it was, but I got right up behind him, and I think he got loose. He had the lid off the gas, and I just barely bumped him because I was so close. But that's kind of just an idea of how quickly, once you get behind someone, how quickly you can pack the air underneath them, how quickly it gets them loose and out of shape.
Yeah, Jared talking a little bit about that on the broadcast tonight. You can move that air in a little different ways. These cars quite different from your standard, Xfinity car or truck or any of these vehicles, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it has to do with just the way the body's shaped. It's the twisted sisters, whatever they used to call them. But just the way the bodies are shaped, and if you can get your car just positioned just right, you can really get someone in front of you or to your, especially if you're like below someone and to like just on their left rear quarter panel. If you can get there, man, you can really mess with their arrow.
I'm not sure this is a twisted sister car. I'm gonna have to bring in my expert, Jared Carr, on that one. Jared.
Not quite the Twisted Sister. That was 04 to 07 when they removed the templates, but
See,
close.
it's like
Okay, I was close then.
Stump the Schwab here, or whatever that show was. You're not going to stump Mr. Carr. But Austin, man, we thought you did a great job. Like I said, a super difficult night. Hats off to you, man. Great job holding on to third there tonight. You got anybody you want to thank or shout out? Please take the mic.
Yeah, it was shout out Kylou Glass, East Coast Web Printers, Alive Church. Shout out my teammate TJ Rogers at Red Fox Motorsports. We were kind of working together during the race. Say hi to my parents who usually watch the broadcast every Tuesday. But yeah, other than that, it was a great race, and I look forward to racing next week.
All right, that was Austin Inman, the number 18 with a third place finish here tonight.
Yeah, Dean, and I am down here on the pit wall with Wes Pistol. Wes, what a run! I mean, I think you're probably exhausted, aren't you?
Yeah, that was hard work. It was fun though.
We were on board with your car a couple times throughout the race, and among others, and it just looked like you were just fighting that thing. It didn't matter if it was on the straightaway, if it was in the corner. Talk about just what you were experiencing on the wheel, because it looked honestly insane out there.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't feel like it was that the whole race was that crazy. That 3 wide battle I had was pretty insane. But I don't know. If you put the throttle down too hard coming on exit, it would kick out on you, and you might be a little sideways. But I mean, that's what these cars do. I feel like these high horsepower, low downforce cars do it a lot, and it's the kind of driving I like to do. So I don't know. It was fun for me. Maybe it looked wild on the broadcast, but I was having a good time.
Well, I love to hear it, and we were having a good time on the broadcast too. But let's talk. I mean, you kind of brought it up. You alluded to it. let's talk about that caution and the ensuing battle that happened after that. You and TJ Rogers went back and forth, side by side for many laps. Then Austin Inman joins in. You guys went 3 wide for 2 laps. Talk about the craziness there. Maybe some contact in there, some rubbing fenders, but at the end of the day, you guys came out unscathed through that.
Yeah, I was. I don't feel like I was. I was trying to conserve some because I knew Chris was gonna be tough to beat if I could ever get clear. So I was still trying to conserve, but TJ's fast and he was running the high line, and I was like, man, he's usually a wizard, so I was concerned that he was gonna figure out how to run the high line and still keep tires because I was burning stuff up running the high line, so I knew the bottom was for me. So anyway, it got to the point where I was like, all right, I got to get around him because Chris is getting away. So I got a little more aggressive trying to get back by him, and I think I had conserved just enough tire to make it work. And Austin threw one more run at us, and we were 3 wide there for a while. But thankfully, I was able to save just enough to, I guess, be barely better than both of them, and then pull away after that.
And Wes, it was a great battle out there. And as somebody that's kind of come into the series as an unknown to me, at least, I had covered the Xfinity series in the past. It just feels like this Gen 4 car is kind of your bread and butter. Like, this is something you kind of work on every week.
Yeah, I run the official side in this car. I ran it last season, the whole season. So, like I say, it's this style is what I like. I like the old 87 cars. I actually think I won a championship last year in the 87s in this league. So, the high horsepower, low downforce, that's my favorite. I can run the other stuff, but yeah, these are the kind of cars and styles that I think fit my driving style.
Well, Wes, this is the first time you finished second. You've had a bunch of thirds. We're heading into Richmond next week. Can you get one more step higher on the podium after that race?
I hope so. I like Richmond pretty well. I feel like the short tracks are actually my favorite for all these cars. So hopefully that plays well for me. And Richmond's a good track for me usually. And I think I've got one win there in this league already. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, Wes, what a run. Great job out there. You put on some exciting moves out there that kept us on the edge of our seats. And congratulations on your runner-up. I'm going to turn the mic over to you and let you have the last word on your race here tonight.
Yeah, as always, thank our sponsors, East Coast Web Printers, Alive Church, and Kylou Glass for putting on the show for us, and Wind Tunnel TV. You guys, I love watching your broadcasts the next day after we race. So I appreciate what you guys are doing. Say hi to my wife, my dad, my cousin Daniel, my in-laws, Kenneth and Kathy. My cousin Tyler might be watching, and my mom. My mom might be watching tonight. Sometimes she does. So, hey everybody, love you guys, and go Vols.
All right, Dean, that was our runner-up, Wes Pistol, with his best finish of the year.
Yeah, a great run for West, no doubt about it. But I'm down here in Victory Lane in the 19th hole with Chris Owens, the number 26, victorious here tonight at Auto Club. Congratulations, Chris.
Thanks, Dean. Was not expecting this at all. Practice was horrible yesterday, so come out on top tonight and lead, I think, 81 or something laps like that. I am blown away right now.
Well, I mean, the key to the race, Chris, I mean, maybe two starts, the initial start and the restart. I mean, the first one, you're on the high side. Thought you got a nice job of staying with them, and it looked like to me like you just got through the gears better and got the lead.
Yeah, the initial start there was I have no strategy going into these sometimes, and it was one of those things where I talked about it with my teammate and just decided to throw it up on the top there and see what happens. And luckily we came out of turn 2 and in the lead. And from the looks of it, that's all she wrote.
I mean, basically, do you think clean air was that big a factor tonight, or was just getting out there and having the track where you could just run your line, use the whole track? Which one of those was the key here?
I think Clean Air played a little bit, but it was mostly just getting out front and getting that repetitive hit your line, hit your marks every lap, and definitely didn't want to see that caution there around halfway. I was starting to just find my groove and hit the mark and hit my lines that I wanted to run, and was pulling away from those guys. And that caution around halfway sort of scared me, but we got through that restart again, like you said, and just pulled away.
You know, you didn't have a whole lot of threat, but you did have one. TJ, well, probably a couple, but TJ Rogers was coming up there on that restart, I believe. And this is the only time I seen your car do anything out of the ordinary. Didn't see you breaking loose. You kept her under control with your throttle control, but you did come down the track one time. Was that to break the draft, or were you chasing the car down the track?
No, I was trying to break the draft. It's with this new build, I'm not really sure what the drafting does right now, and I think we're still all trying to figure that out. So it was just one of those things. I didn't want to give him any help, and so I just turned left and just tried to break the draft to see what happens. It seems like it's not as big as it used to be, but you start to notice right when you get up behind a guy, and I did not want to give him any help there, just because I knew if he got to my inside, I was going backwards.
Well, yeah, I mean, he can run that high line and be stuck on that low line fighting him for probably 10, 20 laps, Chris. I think you made the right move. We look at the points here. Unofficially, you moved up into third. In the top three, we have it only 6 points between Walker, Pistol, and yourself. I mean, what a battle we got going forward. How you feeling about heading to Richmond and trying to maybe take the lead in this thing?
Well, so I'm gonna break a little news here. I'm gonna miss next week. I'm going in to have a little surgery, so next Tuesday. So I'm gonna be out for next week. So I have to take a provisional. But hopefully, all those guys in front of us have issues next week, and the points gap isn't as big when I come back in 2 weeks.
Race car drivers never wish bad on anybody, do they, Jared? I mean, you know, you got to have a little bit of luck here, Chris, but we hope your surgery goes well and you savor this one, buddy. Take out some champagne, have yourself a little drink, enjoy it, man. You got apparently more than 1 week to celebrate, so you got a 2-week celebration coming up, man. What a run. Congrats, and we'll turn it over to you, man. Any sponsors, any friends you want to shout out?
Yes, sir. Definitely want to savor this one, savor it for a couple more weeks here, and hope everybody has a good run next week. Definitely want to thank George and Todd and all the guys here at RGR that put this on. You guys for broadcasting so the world gets to see how awesome this league is. And any of you guys out there that are watching that aren't in a Gen 4 league and looking for something to do on Tuesday nights, hit up RGR, man. This is the best league on iRacing. It's some of the most fun I've had in sim racing in my 25-year history. So yeah, any of you guys watching, just hit us up and come join us. And definitely want to shout out to Alive Church and Kylou Glass and East Coast Web Printers. Those guys spend money with this league and make it so that we can have these races on TV so the world can see how awesome this stuff is. So thanks to those guys.
Absolutely. Couldn't say it better myself. Jared, Chris Owens, number 26, out front in victory lane tonight.
Yeah, and what a performance. First win since Vegas, another track that required a certain skill set, right? And what a job by him. He dominated, was very humble. He put on a clinic tonight, and I think some drivers in this league are probably going to set up and take notice after that one tonight, Dean.
Don't you love it, Jared? I mean, we got all of our winners are very humble. I mean, I almost yearn for someone to get up here and be real cocky. I don't know how they'd survive, but no, Chris, a class act out here and put himself, you know, in points contention. And Michael Walker, we talked about at the end of the race, unofficially takes the points lead, Jared. I mean, that's huge.
It is, and you know, and we talked about, Dean, we still have so many races to go, but if we come down to the end of the year and you're talking about, you know, a handful of points, him being able to pick up those last 3 spots with under 5 laps to go is crucial. I mean, and 2 of them were with 2 to go, right? I mean, past Baris on the last lap. I mean, that could be huge in Michael Walker's opportunity for a championship, Dean.
Yeah, it can, and it likely will be. We've seen it many times. We've seen people come up 1 point short. 2 points short. And how many races can you look back on? My goodness, so many where you're like, man, if I just did this or didn't do that. So Michael Walker did what he had to do, takes the unofficial points lead. Chris Owens, dominant performance, even though it wasn't a huge lead. He was the man who didn't have any problems and led from beginning to end. It was a thrilling night at the track, but for myself, Dean Doucette, for Mr. Jared Carr, that's going to wrap it up from Auto Club, and we'll see you right here next time